Go.
Good evening, everyone. Before we start this press conference, please don't do this, sir. All the people who are not required to be in this press conference, I would request all of them to go out, please. Please raise your hands, identify yourself, and before we start this press conference, I would request to check your phones once. It should be on silent or discreet mode. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Arjun from DTI. Money settings is simply for India. Although T20 is considered a difficult format, but do you think now India will be one of the top contenders when we move over to?
Well, we are always a top contender, when it comes to the shorter format. Also, the World Cup being held in India, we know the spinners will come into action, and that gives us that added benefit, and also the exposure of playing IPL over here. Out of the 8 seasons of IPL, we have played like 7 seasons of IPL here. So, we've got a lot of players, especially ones who are part of the team. They've got very good experience when it comes to playing in India. So, all of that will definitely count. But as I say, the shorter format is the shortest format, and what it really does it narrows down the difference between two teams. So, as I said, you have to keep the big hitters out of the game, especially from an opposition, and also in knockout game, that's a crucial part of the tournament where you have to be at your best. You can't really have an off day because once the knockout stage starts, it's more like lottery cricket. So I feel to be consistent is something that's very important.
Shri.
You've time and again spoken about death bowling and inconsistency. There were times when you had to save some overs from some of your main spinners, and Ashwin did that job for you quite a bit. Now that you have someone like Bumrah who bowls those Yorkers consistently at there, does it give you the freedom to use someone like an Ashwin whenever you want to bowl him out?
It does, but also in this format, what really happens is usually you'll keep 2 overs of somebody like a Bumrah or Ashish Nehra for the death. So, even if you need just 1 over, what happens in a 50-over format, you have to be more careful. You have to keep like 2 or 3 overs of the spinner, because if one of your death bowler is not bowling well, then you would like to bring him in. And what it does is at times you don't really end up using the spinner or one of the bowlers. And that's the time you think maybe I should have used him, in between the 20th till the 40th over. So it's always something, that will trouble us till we are certain that these are the set of bowlers, who will bowl death for us. So in this format, it's a matter of 1 over. If they're bowling 3 overs up front, then they only have 1 over. So even if they have a bad day, you have given that 1 over. So you can't really do much about it. But overall, yes, if you take this into the 50-over format, yes, if you have a certain bowlers, who are definitely your death bowlers, it gives you that liberty of using the other people, in between overs. So I feel, that's really something that will be of very big importance to us once we go back to the 50-over format.
The series is seen as a build-up towards the World T20. What do you think are the areas for the Indian team that have not been tested? Boxes that are yet to be picked from this series?
Well, everybody has not got a chance to bat, but you'll keep facing this problem, usually because also our batting lineup is quite deep. So, we'll have to maybe try and give batting to a few of the players who have not batted so far. But usually people who are batting close to 6, 7 and 8, they'll have to develop more of, straight away going in and, trying to play the big shot, because that's something that will certainly be very important for us. It's not how many runs you score at that point of time, it may be just you're facing 3 or 4 or 5 deliveries, and if you can get 10 or 12 runs, that can be of real benefit. But overall, other than that, I feel everybody has got an opportunity to bowl, which is a good thing. And I think, in the last 3 games, everybody has gone up for runs a bit, if it's the spinners or the fast bowlers to some extent, which is good. They were under pressure at some point of time, which is a good thing for them also. So I feel overall we are looking good, but a bit more batting to the middle order batsmen will help. Well, again, I've said he's the pick of the bowlers, when it comes to giving him the ball, the new ball, especially, in the circle. So he's somebody who still, flights the ball, asks the batsman to step out and, play the big shot. And that I feel is crucial in this format. At times you tend to, bowl too flat, but he's somebody who mixes it really well. and he gives us that liberty of using the fast bowlers in the middle over, especially if you are playing with just two fast bowlers and somebody like a Hardik. It gives us that liberty of mixing up the bowlers at different levels, but it's not something that we'll keep doing throughout the coming games. We'll see the condition and the opposition at the same time, how many left-handers they have, how many right-handers they have. But also, what gives me that option is having Suresh Raina also in the mix. So literally, you have two proper off spinners, especially when it's spinning, and you have two left armers in Jadeja and Yuvraj Singh in the 11. So even if one of them has to bowl up front, it doesn't really matter because the other can fulfill the number of overs.
Last two questions. Question to Vishal and Amal. Vishal.
MS. So in your mind, is the starting 11 more or less set?
More or less, yes.
At least you think you know what the starting 11 is going to be?
Yes. No, again, it depends on the condition. We'll have to see. If Pune jaisa wicket mil gaya, to we'll have to rethink everything. But if it's a normal wicket, we know who will play. But we'll also have to see the opposition, what their batting lineup looks like, how many left-handers, right-handers, and all of that. So as of now, if you are saying, in a normal wicket, normal opposition, which is not like too much different to a normal scenario, yes, we know the first playing 11, that will play.
Last question.
When Virat comes back to the side, what factors you would weigh in to decide who he replaces?
Sorry?
What factors you would weigh in to decide who he replaces in the side when Virat comes back?
I don't think that's too difficult to answer. I think anybody can answer anyone. You can ask anyone who he will replace. So in fact, Virat Kohli can replace anybody in the side, and I don't think it's difficult looking at the last 3 games who he will replace.
Thank you very much.
I don't need to answer it. No, thank you.